to talk about all the different kinds of self-care that you can engage in. Because when I talk to clients and I'm like, oh, what do you do for self-care? I often get about, I don't know. And that is because, for one, we're often, given this idea what self-care is through, media and commercials, the spa, the nails, the latest hair product, the vacation. And so most of us we can't relate to that, or we don't have money for it, or a lot of things. And so what I'd like to do today is talk about all the free or cheap tips for self-care. Okay, let's start with self-care for the body. Okay, take a hike, take a walk, ride a bike, skip. There is something about skipping. I wish I was trying to think of what that was and look it up, but I couldn't remember what it is. But skipping, exercise, yin yoga, dance, Irish dance, belly dance. How about self-care tips for the mind? Okay, meditation, hypnosis, self-guided hypnosis, listening to sleep stories for grown-ups, Tai Chi, or slow-moving meditations like yoga, yin yoga, breathing. And breathing is incredible. There's so many different kinds of breath breathing exercises out there. In fact, I teach a breathing break for free, and I'll put that in the description below. Okay, self-care tips for nutrition: drinking water, walking, eating healthy, eating whole foods, eating whole grains, skipping the sweets, cutting out the sweets. Have a cup of tea. Goodness, there are so many different herbal teas out there that, and I'm not talking, you can definitely do the green tea. Green tea is good. There's matcha, there's black tea, there's flavor tea, and there's just a jillion of different kinds of herbal teas out there that you can drink hot or cold. In fact, the entire process of making tea is a self-care routine. And in fact, if you like to prepare foods, that can be a self-care routine. It can be things like making your own yogurt, making your own kefir, making your own breads, making your own flours, making your own herb mixes, preparing food for the week. Okay, you may be doing a lot of self-care things, or you once did. So take a moment and think back. Were there things I used to do? Did I used to play a sport? Was I on a bowling league? What was some of the things you enjoyed? Did you enjoy dancing? Hey, well, why not try dancing now? There's probably a class in your community. Look through your community's college. If you live where there's a community college, they often have what they call continuing education, which are basically community education opportunities. Some of those can be around history, cooking, just anything I know some of them do hiking. There are hiking clubs. So there's a community college near you might have a list of different courses. Your local museums and your local libraries often will have activities. Many of those are directed at kids, but there's you can check that out. That's another resource for self-care. For your self-care tips around entertainment, it could be things like watch a movie, read a book, have a book read to you through an audiobook, ebook, listen to music, create a playlist for music, listen to calming music, try different kinds of music. You can also do self-care with others. Now, a note and a caution about self-care with others. If you're depending on somebody else and they can't meet with you, then that could be a problem. But, if you're like in charge of little peoples, you can incorporate activities for them, like going to the park, You can take your dog for a walk. That's a kind of activity that's really good. In fact, when you take the kids to the park, try getting on the swing. Kind of fun. Yeah. Channel your inner child. That's always fun. Anything that you can do that gets you out in nature is also self-care. I read something recently that we'll spend over 90%, many of us, in our lives indoors. Wow. Okay. Outside, good place to be. Take a walk. You can do this at lunch. Take your lunch outside. Have your morning coffee on the deck on pretty weather. Um, Take the kids, go on, do a walk around the local school's track or along the park. Um, there's just lots of things you can do to get outside. You could try gardening. Gardening is a lot of fun. Sometimes they're community gardening. Sometimes gardening can be in a pot. It doesn't really much matter. The idea is that you're doing something you enjoy. Hopefully, some of these tips were useful for you to start thinking about what can I do? What have I done in the past? Maybe it's things I have stopped doing because of time or all the other activities. Oftentimes, when we have kids, a lot of our activities go away. So, what did I used to enjoy? How can I bring those things back? Do I have a hobby that I only get to do once in a while? Can I prioritize that and make that something I can do more often? And then if you really are stretched for time, see where you can combine things like listening to a podcast while commuting or taking your lunch outside, different things like that. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.